this all apart now. And this is the first two things I'm going to do is take this. I've already been in here 4 times. This haven't been fun. And this truck's 14 years old and nobody drove it for 9 years, so every single bolt I've had to take out of here, I've had to torch with a mini propane torch for about a minute at least. There's lots of rubber boots and stuff burning. But it's all loose for me now, so I should just be able to go in and do the ball joints, which are crap. So I'm going to get this here, and I'm going to go behind here, if you can see, and I'm going to get the caliper off. And if you look, there's a bolt here, and at the bottom, there's a bolt here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this caliper off. This whole thing here will come off with 2 bolts. One's back here, one's back here. I just pointed them out twice. And this thing's going to come off. And that's just going to drop down. Let's see if I can get this without smacking my camera. Whoops. Nope. It's not going to come off this easy. But I've got this thing never seized and lubed up and it's good to go. So take that off there. My nifty little bucket. I grab my little 3-pound sledge. Whoops. I'm sloppy. Tap this out. Ding. First couple times I did it, and the first time I did it, I had to smack it a little bit harder than that. Alright, so let me go ahead and pull this caliper off. Okay, caliper's off. Just set it up there on that A-arm or whatever it's called. Pull this rotor off. It should just pull right off. And I'm going to get this nut out of here. So, gotta pull that cotter pin out. This whole thing can turn now with that tie rod end off. And I gotta pull that cotter pin out. Okay, then I'm gonna get this nut out. It's 1 11/16 or 42.5 or 43 millimeter. I think 43 millimeter will work. I had to get a 1 11/16. You're probably gonna have to order it. You're not gonna find it at a common auto parts store. I couldn't even get one from the dealer, so you're probably gonna have to order it. See what I'm gonna do here is, once I get that nut off, I'm also going to get this bolt right here on the back of the hub. So at the top right here, and there's one right here. Oh, excuse me. But if you look at the hub behind it, you can see where the bolts come in. So just follow it back. That's 9/16 I used for that. The tie rod end bolt was 21 millimeter I used, and the caliper bracket bolts I used are 21 millimeter. The studs were 3/4. What you gotta do to get this nut off? Take a little pry bar, stick it down in there like so. So when you go to turn it, it'll lock up. See what I'm saying? I actually had to borrow this from the guys at work. I don't have $40 for a socket like this, or however much it costs. I think I could find one on Amazon for 10 bucks, but I didn't have the time to wait for it, even though this has taken me well over 16 hours to do because I'm an idiot. This should just come right off because I had it off last night. Hold on a second. My neighbor's watching me talk to myself. This is amazing. I'm sorry. Let me just turn this off here. Now you're going to want to watch out behind this. There's a washer. Mine's not in there because I forgot to put it in last night when I put it back together because I'm an idiot. Welcome to Idiot Backyard Mechanics 202. See what I did there? I changed it up from 101 to 202. Okay, so that's off. I'm going to get those bolts off. And I'll show you how to get that hub out of there. Alright, so we're back here. I got those bolts out. You can see here back in here now, they're gone. Just following back there, 9/16. Oh, I gotta tell you about these bolts. I don't know if they're gonna be the same on all these trucks, but if you look at this, it's got a multi-point on it. I don't think a 6-point socket's gonna work on that. My sockets that I have, luckily, God blessedly, and he set me up to have these, so I don't know if you have to have that or not. I'm pretty sure you do. I know you guys don't want to hear it. It's just another stupid thing you got to buy, but it's 9/16 if you want to buy a multi-point like that. Or when I bought mine, I think I bought them in a set for $15 or something. It goes from little to big. Little to big. So I'm gonna get this off here. I'm just gonna go ahead and tap it with this sledge here. Just pull it out now. No? Yeah, I got it now. Be careful with this axle. Okay. Well, there's the hub and the middle ring that's behind it. I don't know what this thing is for. Some sort of spacer. It's a metal gasket, obviously, but I don't know, there's not really any oil or anything that it's going to hold in anyway, even if something was leaking. So then I can pull this axle out and be careful with that too. It just pulls right out. Right? Now I got this cotter pin here, cotter pin up here on this ball joint. The light's kind of screwing everything up. I'm gonna try and pull these out. I just put these ball joints in last night, and hopefully I'll be able to show you exactly why I'm taking them back out already. This cotter pin's too small for this hole. The grease fittings they gave me didn't fit. The bottom one seems to be okay. I really don't want to replace that one. But I got Moogs. I almost think I should just leave the bottom one alone. Now I gotta get these castle nuts off. The bottom one, top one I use 7/8. The bottom one I use 15/16. When I originally took this bottom one off, it was 27 millimeters, which is just about 1 1/8. 1 1/8 is too sloppy. 27 millimeters was perfect. Had a lot of problems with the top one turning. I ended up having to cut the nut off. The threads are screwed up. It wouldn't come off. I had to cut the nut off on the old ball joints, not on these ones, the old ones. So hopefully I won't have this problem right now. Alright, most likely I'm not going to be able to tape showing you how to get them off. But let's see if I can get this top one off first. All I gotta say is if you're working on a rusty one, don't underestimate the power of a mini propane blowtorch, but get yourself one of those good heads. They're $50, but I'm telling you, you got a rusty vehicle and you're going to be working on it. That little mini propane torch. Unless you're a big mechanic and you're fancy or got a lot of money, then go ahead and get a real oxyacetylene torch. Or if anybody out there knows something better than a little bit better in between, medium. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got those nuts off. Castle nuts. There's a 7/8 on top and a 15/16 on bottom. They came out pretty easy. Nothing was spinning. This bottom one last night was spinning, and there was nothing I could do. What they say, Eric, the car guy, says too. He'll be happy to know I referenced him. He's a good guy. He says to stick this thing up there and get a pry bar and wedge it against the ball joint. Hold on. Like that maybe. And that should stop it from spinning. But I had my brother doing it, helping me, pushing down on it, going every which way, and the top one just kept spinning because the threads were messed up, like I said. But that should work if your threads aren't messed up. What had happened is the cotter pin got rusted inside of the bolt. I tried to drill it out, and I got it out, but I think I messed the threads up to the point where they just wouldn't work anymore. I don't know. I ended up cutting the bolt off the top old one. I already said that. So, but to get this spindle off, and these actually look like they're okay, but I know that top one was messed up when I put it in, so I'm going to replace it. I got a Moog from Advance. Like I said, I'd rather go to AutoZone. I know the people there. I've worked with them. They have great service. But I got to have a good part because I don't want to be doing this every 2 weeks or 6 months or whatever. So I just go ahead and whack down on this thing wherever there's flat, solid. Let's see, now it comes down. Give it a couple more. And it's off. But let's look at the length. See how far out that one came. Look at that. I mean, that should not be down that far. It came pulling out of there. So, this one ain't no good already. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't think it should be, though. I mean, these new ones aren't doing that. So, I'm replacing them both. I got a press. I don't know how to use the press at all. The one I rented from AutoZone worked to press them out, but to get them back in, no. It was a bear. I didn't have the right pieces, tools, or anything, so I got a press today. Hopefully it works. It's pretty close to the same thing, but it's got a couple extra cups. So I'm going to go ahead and try and set it up and show you what I got. Okay, so I read my directions in my press kit, and I went and there's another video on YouTube for a 98 Dodge Ram. It's passenger side. It's a red truck. The video guy's name is Manny De La Cruz. It's a pretty good video. Probably a lot less sloppy than this one, but I figure if you got 2 videos to go by, then you get a little bit of information, some different views all together. But here we got a whole bunch of cups were here. There's some plates that were here. And I got these extra adapters, which I think is what I was missing out of the kit that I got loaned from AutoZone. He seemed to be able to do it with the kit that he got from AutoZone, so I'm going to have to go back and watch how he put them in too and read my directions on that. But this is how he had it set up. This is all one solid piece. It goes inside this hole. You get a C-clamp like this, see? I got this at Harbor Freight for $77. This is all, there's a hole in the bottom of this clamp here, okay? And then these plates will slide down in that hole. This thing will fit in that hole nicely. And this is the ball joint pin on the top. And the pin goes through both of those holes. And then there's a cup on top here, which is pushing down on the axle housing, which would normally be a control arm, but these years of Dodges don't have control arms, they just have the axle housing, so it gets pressed in right onto it. You got to do it on the vehicle, which I mean you can with control arms too. So then I got one more plate up here. This is all one solid piece, and the hole in the middle is smaller than this, so that it'll push down on here and basically just pop that right out. So you're pushing this one out. I'll show you here, this little ridge. You're going to push this one out of the top, and you're going to push the bottom one out of the bottom. If you look at it, this ridge right here is what's holding it from not going all the way through. If you look down the bottom here, this ridge right here, this is a boot. This ridge right here is what's not holding it, or what's holding it from not going all the way through here. You can see I don't have these seated totally completely either. I was having a lot of problems with that press. But let's set this up one more time here. I got a cup that goes around everything. There. And then this one, it's going to fit down. You can see it's got the different cup sizes in it, so it'll fit down in here like so. And then there's the clamp, and this will fit on into that hole. Well, let me go from the bottom here like so. But this thing needs to be in there. I'm going to need another hand to do that, so try it. Hold on. Yeah, try not to malfunction as I do, and make sure you get this so the stacks are going up. Okay? Then what's going to happen is I'm going to turn it, tighten it up, and I did hit the threads with a little WD-40 so it would turn a little better. And I think it's going to be 7/8. I should probably check my directions. Yeah, it's 7/8, and I'm probably going to end up throwing a cheater on this 7/8 too. If you can get a 7/8, you know what? I have a 7/8 cheater. They're a breaker bar, or I think I'll try my breaker bar with a 7/8 bit. And then if that doesn't work, that's my cheater bar. I can stick my wrench right in there. And what? In there, like so. Yeah. Oh, this isn't ratcheting though. And you want to see me do this? I gotta set you down somewhere. I don't know where to set you. Okay, top's out. It took me like 2 turns and it came out like butter. It took me about 2 turns and it came out as butter would go through something if it was hot. I don't know. Let's see here. Okay, so I know I just pressed these in yesterday too, so that's probably half the reason why it was easy to come out. But they were easy to pop out last night, just the same way with the other press. Let's see here. Okay, this one's going to be for the bottom. You're still screwing down. It's got to come out downwards, like I showed you before. This little ridge here. I got a cup here that's going to go up against the axle arm, axle control housing arm. There was a Zerk fitting in here, grease fitting. They're called Zerk fittings. I pulled it out. It's sitting there now. See it? And basically this time this thing is gonna push this down and out. I get a lot of text messages, I guess. So, and then this cup will just hold it there. This one hopefully will come out just as easy. You see I have these plate ones here, so that this can go through it. This peg on this ball joint almost always has to go through these ones that are It's just one solid piece. Let's see. So, but it's got the different sizes on it for the cups. Let's see, size 2. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and clamp that down and see what happens. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so the bottom came out just as easy as the top. I took a lunch break, chatted with my brother because he keeps wanting to text me. I started it. This is what I figured out for the bottom after watching Manny De La Cruz's video again. The ball joint's gotta go up in from the bottom. Okay. That's gonna fall out of there. I got this cup here that's gonna fit around underneath this collar, which is what I'm gonna push on, and that collar is gonna stop at this point here. Okay. Then below that I've got plates. See how they're pyramided up so that this will fit on top of it. This pin will go, whoa, see, told you. So then this all goes, the ball joint goes in there. The problem Manny had, same problem I had, is on top. When you go to do this, you got to have something that the ball joint can go into, because this is going to clear the top. It's going to come past this ridge. So you got to have something bigger than that hole for this to push onto. In my kit, I have this handy dandy little thing. I think that's good. Yeah, that'll work. And then we'll be able to push down on that. So let me get it set up, and then I'll show you what it looks like all together. It's gonna look something like this. Showing. Alright, so that's what it's gonna look like all together. Got the plates stacked up with the cup. It's pushing on this ring. You see it on these ball joints. There's a gritty part right there, a line scored with a bunch of even lines. Factory. And that's the part that goes inside the socket. The control arm. Alright, look at that. Check that out. Fully seated. Barely even had a pull on it, man. Look at this roof ripper. Oh, he missed it. Yeah. He tried to throw his shirt off the roof and he got caught in a tree. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and try and figure out how to push this top one in, I guess. I'll be right back. Okay, that worked really good. It's up in there good. Nice and flush. All the way around. This is not so flush. But this thing, if you look at it, well, I can't tell on the camera, but if you look at it, it's sort of pointing at an angle. So this one is not coming out flush, but it's flush at the bottom. It's in there. So I'm gonna go with it. I'll let you see what I do. Let you go for a second here so I can figure out what to do at the top, and then I'll show you that. Alright, so I gotta tell you guys, I had this boot here that I had to put on. Not a good idea to use the press to try to put it on. It's a little bit messed up now. So what I'm gonna do is probably go to Advance and ask them to just give me one, since it's a lifetime warranty. It's supposed to be if you don't mess it up, they'll give it to you, but I'm sure they won't mind because of the customer service thing. Top. Okay, so what I figured out for the top was, and I don't know if this is right, I kinda wanted to just go like this. But if you look, I'm not pushing down on this ridge here. I'm pushing down on the top of the ball joint. Which should, theoretically, that actually should be okay. Just like that. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I try it like that? Risk screwing up this ball joint and then having to call somebody to give me a ride to go get a new one? Because what else I had to do was put this up here that way. That's on the ridge. And this thing, which doesn't really fit there, or stay locked in, so it could slide out. And then this. And this is weird looking. This is all at an angle. You can see it from this way better. See how that, but the ball joint is even room all the way around. Pretty much. So I think I'm gonna go with this for now. It just barely fits on there. Let's see if I can show you. Back it up. Sorry, I didn't forget about you. I'm gonna put this one on there, this one down here that way. That looks the best way. It's kind of weird. Kind of looks like I gotta keep setting it there. It looks like I'm turning it by hand right in there. I wonder if this ball joint is even the right ball joint. There's no way I should be able to turn that by hand and get that in there. That's a little better. Unless I'm just getting really strong from working on this for the last couple of days. Yeah, now I can't turn it. Alright, so that's what I'm going to try. Cup, and that's going around the boot on the bottom, so hopefully I don't mess that boot up. Looks like they gave me a spare one, though. Probably. I don't know what this is. It says Moog on it. Moog. It's supposed to go in there, I guess. I'm going to turn that on there and push it down. Pray for me. Okay, so I pressed that one in. Looks pretty good all the way around, I think. It was really easy to do. I've had these cleaned out and pushed in and out a couple times, so I don't know if that's what's making it so easy, but this, it's definitely nice to have a good press, or the right adapters, I should say. And this was just the basic kit, too. I didn't get the whole $65 adapter set, so you can do this Dodge with just the regular kit. You don't need all the adapters, but those are pressed in. Let's put it back together now. So this thing's got to go on here. That's the spindle. I think some people call it a steering knuckle. You had to whack it to get it off. So Manny de la Cruz said he just hit it with a hammer to get back on. I mean, you could call him a garage if you know a good mechanic and just ask him what he does. I don't like asking people for information for free. That's a lie. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and use this bottle jack. I'm just going to push it up on there with that. I'm going to get it up in there, put the castle nuts on so it'll kind of hold it in place. And I'll push it up in there, and then it'll kind of set itself up in this tapers on these ball joints. And I'm going to anti-seize these threads real good too. I use this stuff over here. This anti-seize Permatex. So I just yoink, little glob. Paint it on there. Nice and pretty. Everything I put back together is going to get this on it, so that I don't ever have to pull a torch out when I go to take it apart in a year, maybe two, when everything fails, because I drive like an idiot. I'm just kidding. I don't drive like an idiot. Okay, that looks good. So let's see how this jack idea works, and I'll show that to you. Bye. Okay, so I guess I didn't really need to use the jack. This looks like it's up there good enough. This one too, it's pushing up against the boot. And it looks centered to me. Oh, it doesn't look centered now. Doesn't look centered now. Now it looks centered. No, but honestly, it looks okay to me. Ow! Just pinched me. So I knew that one part was the top, but I don't think it really matters because it spins. It's just got to go in all the way. That really pinched me good. It hurt. So when you put it in, you'll see it. There's this like ring here. This thing is beat up, man. There's this ring here. So what I'm gonna want to do is kind of turn it and lift on it a little until the splines line up inside there. Make sure it still turns. Okay. Okay. So that should be okay for now, and the hub will level it out, I think. Right. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is get the bolts and put it through the back, make sure it's lined up right, and then tighten them down. Okay, so I got these bolts back in here, and don't do like I did and forget that metal washer in between there for the third time. No, the second time. Last time I put it back together, forgot it again. So next thing I'm going to do is put this nut back on there. But guess what? I'm not going to forget this time. That's right, the washer. Oh, I gotta tell you guys some stuff. Hold on, let me get this started on here. Then I'll tell you. The grease fitting pin I got in there, the Zerk fitting, got on the top. They were, I believe, both 5/16. Yeah, they were 5/16. Can you see it? No glare? Nope. They're both 5/16. But the little square thing that was plugging it in the bottom was 1/4 inch. No, it was 9/32. If you have a 9/32 laying around, you can get it. This thing, also when you take the tie rod off, that makes it so you can spin this all the way over. And that'll make it easier to get this top bolt out. Just don't want you to forget that. So I'm going to get this on here. Alright, so I got it together. Sorry my phone kept cutting me off because I had too many videos on it because I talk too much. So that's everything. Top ball joint. Bottom ball joint. Hallelujah. I'd like to say and here we have 15 pounds of chicken. Oh wait, wrong video. Okay, I got the tire back on and the ball joint is good. If this video helped you, donate some money to your local Christian church, because without my Christian churches, without Jesus Christ, I wouldn't be here today. We got to give a special shout out to Manny De La Cruz for his ball joint video that helped me. And Eric the Car Guy for inspiring me always. Eric the Car Guy has got so much information. Check his channel out. That's pretty much it, you guys and girls. Thanks for watching. Hope that helped. God bless.